Hey y'all. Hello. Let's see. I'm trying to see y'all getting on here. Hey guys. I'm gonna let y'all pile in really quickly. I'm finishing something else up. I just got done with work, so I'm getting this finished up here. So I'm gonna let y'all kind of pile in or whatever. Y'all can start asking your questions though. You don't have to wait for me to like say it. You can start asking your questions away, and I'll get to you in just a second. Just want to finish this real quick. So I have this taken care of. So hey, hello, Scrapbook Steph. How you doing, sweetheart? Yes, yes. I'm back. Hey, Marlon. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Liz. So I was supposed to be on Instagram. Actually, I was supposed to work yesterday. But I had fix this up here. I had a sty, which is gross. So I had a sty, so I couldn't work yesterday because I couldn't even keep my eye open. I was like this, and I was like, "Hey, don't worry, I'm gonna be able to work and not be able to like function." So I went and took the day off to rest and to recoup and everything like that. And by the end of the evening, I was pretty much back to my normal self. And then today I woke up and it was much better. It's still there and it still bothers me, but it's it's getting better. So I'm just happy that it's going away. So thank you. Hey, Seeking Health, thank you. Um, so how are y'all doing? I know there's so many of y'all. Oh, cool. Hey, y'all. How are y'all doing? Let's see. Hey, HK Potwin. So I'm just gonna give y'all a chance to kind of pile in here. So for those of you who've never been to one of my lives before, you can pretty much ask me whatever you want to ask me. You can ask me about your health, your finances, your career, and work and relationship, either of those areas. But just make sure that your question is specific and it's not general. Like if you ask, what do you see with my health, or what do you see with my finances? That's too general. You got to be specific because that would require us sitting down, having a full reading, and I don't have time to sit there and like go through all these different layers of your finances or layers of your health. I just need you to ask me one specific question so I can get to as many of you as I can. If you are asking me about like your family and spirit, or anybody you want me to connect with in spirit, just let me know who you want to connect with, and I'll try to connect and get you as much information as I can. If y'all can do me a favor and give me a thumbs up or like and share this video, that way it can kind of get some attraction going as well, and that way we can invite new people in who have never had this opportunity also. Yeah, so if you want to know about your loved ones, it's not like they are right in front of me and I can see them, or I can hear them with my ear. It doesn't really work that way for me specifically. What happens is essentially when a spirit comes and connects with me, they get into my head and they basically start to affect my like senses. So they start to affect my thoughts, my emotions, and my memories. So they want me to say something. They've got to trigger a combination of those things to get me to understand what they're saying. My job is to pay attention and then to try to relay to you what I think they're trying to say. It's a little bit harder just because I don't have you to talk to, so I can't validate or confirm some of it. It's easier on Instagram because on Instagram I can bring somebody onto the video and then we can do that back and forth. But I'll just share with you what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling or what they are bringing up because it might be something as simple as just letting you know that they were with you today when you were dealing with something specific. I had a client a few days ago and her mom popped in and her mom just said, clean your oven more often. And I was like, I have no idea. And they just thought it was hysterical because she had cleaned the oven that morning because earlier in the week the oven apparently caught fire inside because they hadn't cleaned it in a while. So it was just funny that happened. So I was like, okay. It's like I had no idea what she was talking about. Now, if we were doing this and I said that, there's no way for us to know what I'm saying or what I mean. So it's a little bit hard to kind of get that validation from just, the messaging thing. But I'll try to give you guys as much information as I can from them to let you know that they're with you as well. With life questions, like I said, you can be specific. If you're asking about a relationship, just make sure that with relationship questions that you're careful with the way you ask. Oops, that you're careful with the way you ask, just because if you ask about a significant other or a specific other, just know that your comments are public. They're not getting sucked back into privacy. So if you ask about someone specific, make sure that you're careful with the wording that you use, or just make sure that you don't, you can just say the person's first letter or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. But it's just just so you know, because I don't want to hear it. I had this one client years ago where I was doing a live and she asked me about her marriage and I was honest and answered her question. And then her her sister-in-law saw the comment, and then all of a sudden the rest of the family saw the comment about the marriage, and all of a sudden she's all like, you got to erase it, Fernie, you got to take it off. I'm like, I don't, nothing's coming off, it's on there, it's staying on there, like, sorry, but that's your fault, you put it out there, girl. So so she was all going crazy and everything like that, but I'm like, it's not like I can suck it into, they already have the video, they already have it, so I'm like, what am I going to do to take it back from them? I can't, you put it out there. So all right, guys, so I'm just going to answer your questions here. I'm going to try to do a full hour. If I can, it's because I'm just running low on juice right now. That's why. And I think it's because I had to make up for yesterday for today, because a lot of all the appointments from yesterday had to be rescheduled. So my assistant had to push them all into the next few days that I work. So I had to do more appointments than I normally do. So I'm a little bit lower on juice, but I'm going to do as much as I can for y'all. So I love y'all. I hope y'all understand that. If y'all don't, then oh well, get over it. Jessica Alvarez. Hey, Fernie, any messages for my grandma, Abigail, and do I have any spirit guides, and how are they, and do they have any messages for me? Yeah, so Jessica, your grandma, Abigail, from Abigail. So messages from your grandma, Abigail. So immediately she is acknowledging, I don't know if she was big on baking or y'all were just baking stuff, because I feel like I'm making something. And I felt like, at first I thought maybe I'm just seeing like, tortillas, but I don't know if she was a tortilla maker or there was something about flatbread or something about making something with the dough, and she's doing this. So she's acknowledging that. She also keeps referencing the name Chris or Christopher or Christy. There's a Chris sounding name that she's making reference to. She also keeps referencing the family of four, the four siblings, or the four in the family, because she's acknowledging that as well. She's also referencing the number 3, but I think the 3 represents the date. So the 3rd of a month or March might be significant for you or for her as well, because she's acknowledging that as well. But she's around you. She also keeps referencing that there's noises in the attic, or the noises coming from the ceiling, that they're not spirits. So I don't know if y'all been hearing some weird noises from the ceiling or from the roof, and y'all been thinking, oh my God, it's like them or whatever, and they're laughing because they're like, no, it's just like a mouse or a rat or something. So be aware of that as well, okay? Let's see. Jerry M. Hey, Fernster. Hey, do you have any messages for my daughter? Yes. So she is referencing, I don't know why she's doing this, or there's something about doing this with I feel like I want to do fingers like this, and I want to do this, or I want to do this. Like there's something about me wanting to do this with my fingers where I want to put them on my face. So there's something about that. She also keeps referencing, thank you, she likes your hair. So she's acknowledging changes to your hair or liking your hair. She also keeps referencing, she's making this area right here feel weird or odd. So I don't know if there was some impact or issues that were affecting this part of her body, but I feel odd here. So there's something weird here that she's making me feel. She also keeps showing me that what looks like whenever blood is flowing, and then all of a sudden blood stops flowing properly and something's clotted or something stopped it. Like I feel, this is the way she's making me feel, like either there wasn't enough to let it flow, or there wasn't enough to keep to keep smooth flowing. So she's making this gesture as well. There's 2 females with her in spirit. So there's a mother figure with her, which I think might be like a grandma. And then there's also a younger female also with her as well that might be connected to a different person or a different part of the family as well. So there's a younger female. Your daughter is also referencing a necklace that might be etched or that might have very significance, but it might have been something after her passing, because she's acknowledging the special sacred necklace, okay? Girl, it's like they're pouring in. Trying to like sketching. Hey, Fernie, is there a message from my dad? Mia Bella. Hey, Fernie, is there any message from my dad? I'm the middle child. What is he doing, and has he moved on to the spirit world? Yeah, of course he's moved on to the spirit world. They wouldn't be communicating with me if they didn't. When I talk to spirits, like people who've crossed over and come back, the energy is more, there's a lot more personality. There's a lot more engagement. There's a lot more being aware of what's going on in your life. When they're just like, when people are ghosts and they've not crossed over, they're like stuck in a very, very specific mindset. So it's kind of hard for them to really communicate or come across in their own usual personality way, because they're stuck in some mode and they can't get out of. So yeah, your dad has crossed over. He keeps referencing, I feel like I want to put a feather in a cap, or I want to put a feather in a hair or in a hat. So I don't know if there was a picture or there's something about a feather in a hat, or there's something like this. I don't know where this is going, but there's something there. They also keep acknowledging, I keep seeing hot dogs, like I want to cut hot dogs, or I want to cut hot dogs and mix it with something. So I don't know if they were known for a dish or there's something like that that you might connect that with. But I almost feel like I'm cutting weenies up, or I'm cutting the hot dogs, and I'm like using it for something. So I don't know if y'all were just recently doing it or what, but he's acknowledging that as well. He also keeps referencing the H name, like a Hector or a Henry or a Harry or a Hetty. There's like a H name as well that they're also making reference to also. He's okay. He's fine. Marlon Garcia, who are my spirit guides around me? Do they have any messages? Yeah, you have two spirit guides. One's name is Michael, and the other one's name is Cherie. Cherie. I think it's Cherie. And the other one's Michael or Mike. He's your main guide, though. Mike's your main guide. He actually used to be related to you in a past life. Not this lifetime, but in a past life. So I feel like he was related to you in that lifetime. I also feel the message that they have for you, they want you to keep an eye on your activity level and make sure that you keep an eye on your blood pressure, because they're a little concerned with your health. So you need to keep an eye on your blood pressure and on your activity level. Make sure you get enough circulation going. Tongue Sloopy. Is there a way to like highlight? Do y'all know if there's a way to like highlight a comment on live? Like I can let it sit there, because it's like disappears after a few seconds. I don't know why it does that. See, it's disappearing, and then all of a sudden, all the other new comments come in. All the new comments come in, and then I lose my spot. Do you see Tonk Sloopy? Do you see a committed relationship in my future? I've been single for a long time. I think that you need to work on your energy. I'm gonna kind of give you a little bit of a Ferny wake up call, and then I'll answer your question. So I think that you are not as open and as vulnerable as you need to be. I think that sometimes either your expectations are not reasonable, or people don't get an opportunity to connect with you in a way that would be meaningful, or that would allow for more connection to take place. I also think that you might just not do enough to like be around the types of people that you would necessarily have the easiest or best time of dating. So I feel like there's a combination of different things there. I do think that you will meet someone. I think that you probably have an opportunity to meet somebody. I want to say this might be at the end of next year. So I want to say maybe in November of next year, 2021. Person's name may start with a Jon. So Jon. They may be longer than that, but I'm seeing Jon. I also think that there's a little bit of an age difference. You may not be happy about that, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like you might need to get a little flexible, because what your expectations are may not be reasonable. I do think that there's an audiobook that may help you with this. And if you disagree with me, that's okay. You can disagree with me, but I'm trying to help you. I want you to be in a happy relationship. There's an audiobook by Brene Brown called The Power of Vulnerability. And I think it'll help you be a little more open, receptive, and allow for you to have more loving connections with people. Not just with like the romance part, but also with people in your life. So that way you can be more authentically yourself without having to feel like you have to put up walls, or you have to have boundaries up. Okay, not unhealthy boundaries. I'm not unhealthy boundaries. Boundaries are not a bad thing, but unhealthy boundaries. 531, when will my grandson come back? I'm assuming you're asking me like he's in a different place, like here and geographically like location, and you're asking when he'll be coming back. I feel like it might be either 7 months or 1 year and 7 months as well. So I feel like it might be, because I'm seeing like 1 and 7. So I'm thinking it's a year and 7 months, or 7 months. Okay. My mama recently went through a major health scare, and while visiting the church, she saw a cardinal and found so much peace. Was that her dad, my grandpa, who recently passed? Yes, it was her grandpa, but I also think that she was being visited by angels. So I think that some of that was also angelic energy that she was starting to experience there. The peace she was feeling was the angels around her, the angelic energy around her, and the cardinal was from the dad. Okay. I also think that she might have to revisit this issue again 2 more times, but I'm not thinking she's gonna have to worry about it. So it might still also still be just more of a follow-up or a follow-through. Um, Texas Beauty. Hi, Ferny. Hope you feel better. My question is about my career path. Will I get a new job or start my own business? I think you don't have the personality to start your own business right now. I think you're going to have to work on that. You can do it. I'm not telling you you shouldn't. Don't get mad at me. You can do it if you want to, but I feel like you have unreasonable expectations, but I also think that you're wanting instant gratification. So when starting your own business, I mean, you may not really see the value or the financial benefit in that right away. And I think that's going to discourage you. And not only that, but you may think that the minute you say, hey, everybody, I got a business, people are just going to start rolling in the door. And that's not the way it's going to work. You might get some business that way, but I think it's going to have a lot more to do with marketing and you trying to like promote yourself and put yourself out there. And I think that would work really well for you. I do think you will try to start a business in about 2 years and 3 months. So I would say probably in mid 2022. I do think you'll get another job, but I feel like that may not happen until September. So I think you'll probably just end up getting another job temporarily, and then at some point you will try to start your own business. But by that point, you might get to the point where you're like, you know what, screw this. I really don't want to keep doing this or working for people anymore. I'm going to just make my own business. And I think at that point, you'll have enough drive and ambition that you'll achieve your goals and you'll be more persistent and more consistent. Okay. Ronnie Jones. Hi, Ferny. I'm a light worker and would love to know who my spirit guides' names are and what do I need to do personally to elevate my spirituality. You've got 3 guides. You've got 2 primary guides. Normal. People normally only have one primary guide, and then they usually have secondaries depending on what they're working on. You have 2. The reason why is because you're also learning how to be a spirit guide. So in your next, like when you're done with this life, you're actually going to be a spirit guide for somebody here. So you're learning how to do that right now. You need to work on, it's a tricky balance. You need to work on tolerance and patience for the right people while establishing boundaries for the wrong people. And I think sometimes you just want to help or you want to like get in there and try to help everybody, but you can't help everybody. You can only help the people who are basically helpable, because not everybody is helpable. And you can try to force someone to change or force people to be different, but unless they choose that, there's going to be no difference for them. So you got to work on having healthy boundaries with people who are just not worth your time or effort. And I'm not saying that they're not worth any time or effort. They just choose not to do the work, so they're not worth your time and effort. And you need to focus on the people who are actually needing the time and support, who are asking for it. And I think that's going to be a better switch for you as well. Also, I don't think partnerships would be the healthiest for you. So you want to make sure that you are picking quality people if you're going to partner up or do any kind of collaborative work with others. Okay. What are the names? Because I didn't tell you your names. The main guide's name is a male. His name is Ramses, like Ramsey, like Ramsey, like Moses, Ramsey. So that's the main guide. The secondary guide's name is. I think it's Laura. I think it's a female. I want to say it's Laura. I want to say it's Laura. The third one has only been with you for a couple of years. So you might have made some changes in like 2 years ago, or you might have started doing something significant 2 years ago. That guide's name is William. So I think William is the name of that guide. Okay. Susan Kramer. Hi, Franny. Any messages from my father or my grandmother? Yeah, your grandmother is surrounding you with flowers. You might have random wild flowers just like pop into your life, where you may start to see a lot of wildflowers in your garden. She's just like acknowledging that, but there's a reference there. She also keeps acknowledging, I don't know if you have a ring or a bracelet that belong to her, but I feel like there's something that would be jewelry related that would go on this that might be connected to her. As far as your dad is concerned, I keep feeling a little bit of a pressure in my chest, so I don't know if he was having difficulty with his respiratory system. He also makes me feel like his passing was a combination of 2 separate things, and it's almost like one may have caused the other. However, the other is what people went off of, or the other is what people may have actually thought happened. But there might have been something that went awry in his system, like either there was some sort of coronary, or there was some sort of again, like a hemorrhage or a blood. I sometimes like to confuse hemorrhages with blood clots because I feel like there's similarities in some of the way that they operate, but they're definitely different. There might be some sort of hemorrhaging. There's some situation like that that may have occurred or caused one thing to start like a chain reaction, and then it was the other thing that actually was taken as like the reason or the cause. Okay. Um. Genovi Amador. Oh my God, your eye, Ferny, take care. Yeah, it's better. It's better. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, what happened to your eye? Like, it's better than yesterday. Yesterday I was like this and I couldn't see anything. I couldn't open my eye. Today it's a lot better. And I'm one of those people where I'm like, I'm going to push through and work no matter what. I'm not going to let like a crazy ass, not operational eye stop me, and a crazy operational, non-operational eye stop me yesterday. So that just basically told me, Ferny, shut the hell up. You think you got this? Well, bitch, you ain't got this. You sit your ass down and you just shut up and heal. So that's what happened. Why am I, okay, there goes. Jessica, do I have psychic abilities, or do I recently have loved ones trying to give me a message? No, you have psychic abilities, sweetheart. You need to work on them. You are an empath. The problem with empaths is we tend to be the most sensitive. We also tend to be the bitchiest, moodiest people in the world. So you got to kind of find a balance there, because you don't want people to be like, oh, she's so sensitive. She can pick up on this. She can pick up, but she's a bitch. Like, you don't want people to hate on you. But I do think you need to work on your empathic abilities. I think it will come in handy. I would suggest you take my free psychic development course. It's on here on YouTube. Just go over to my website when this is all said and done. It's 2.5 hours. You can knock it out in one day. It will prepare you for all the stuff that you're going to have to deal with. And some of it's redundant, but it doesn't matter. You need to kind of be on the same page as the whole class as I'm teaching it. Christina Garza, Ferny, do you see me raising my second grandchild? I'm already raising my first, and I'm unsure if his parents will get their lives together. Oh, Jesus, keeps disappearing. Get lives together in the right direction. Please help shed some light on this, please. Yeah, they're actually going to be a second grandchild. Already raising my first, and I'm unsure if his parents will go there. Yeah, I actually think there's going to be 2 separate court cases around this, or 2 separate hearings. They may actually be for 2 separate children, but I feel like there's going to be 2 separate cases or 2 separate hearings. I do think you're probably going to find yourself being way more involved in raising the grandchild. So I would say, yeah, I don't think they're going to get it together in the near future. In fact, I don't think they're going to get it together. I also think one of them might actually get in legal trouble, and then it's going to get even more complicated. So you just might need to warn them, or say, hey, get your shit together. Jess Bassett, do you have any messages for me specifically around spiritual and emotional healing? Thank you. Yeah, well, first of all, I will say, I know you said spiritual or emotional, but there is some physical stuff that's going on with you. You got to get your hormones checked, because I feel like your endocrine system needs a workup, and your thyroid might be a little bit out of whack. But as far as like spiritual and emotional healing, I think that there's some trauma from your past as a child that you got to work through. Either you witnessed something that you have kept with you, or you just simply had some experiences that were not fun at all. But I think that in order for you to really heal and to really move forward with your spiritual growth, you kind of have to let go of the story and let go of the past. I'm not saying to make right what happened, or to make okay what you may have seen or experienced or whatever. It's just acknowledging that this is what it is, but it doesn't have power over you. And that's what I'm talking about. Because if we kind of if we become victims of our past and our story, it will affect us for the rest of our lives, and it will not help us move forward in the direction we want to go in, okay? Jacqueline, you? Hey, Ferny, how do you see the job market around summer 2021? Do you see anything in regards to my career right after university graduation? I think that you're going to have 2 career options at that time. One of them is definitely going to either be with the university that you're with, or with a government organization that is somehow associated or affiliated with the university. That may be a temporary 4 to 5 month opportunity for you, because after that, it might also just be training and I'm seeing it as like a job, but I feel like that's the first step. And then there's another opportunity that comes up that may be connected to California. I don't know if you're actually going to be in California or go to, if you, I don't know where you are now, but if you're going to be in California, go to California, or if it's just based out of California. I also think it has to do a lot with, I keep seeing doctor's offices, which is funny, but I feel like I'm not looking at the medical side of it. I'm looking at like like some sort of technology or some sort of thing that is tied in to like locations or where something is found or where something is located. It's almost like I'm looking at like, I almost want to say I'm looking at more of the property and not necessarily the medical part of it, but it feels like I'm looking at like, if I go into a doctor's office, there's like equipment, there's computers, and I have to like sign in. There's something there that I think is going to somehow click in or link into what you're going to be involved in after the 6-month period for you job wise. Anam Navid, is there someone looking after me? Any guide? Yeah, you have 6 family members in spirit, or people that are connected to your family in spirit, who are with you. You've got 3 females and 3 males. So it's half and half. As far as a guide is concerned, you have a primary guide. I think the guide's name is Ham. Like ham. I don't like ham. Like ham. Like HAM, which is crazy. Like I've never heard of that name before. Ham. But it's not like ham like the food. It's like ham. Like HAME or HAIM. So it's like ham. Spelled like that. So Angelica Haplin or Angelica Halpin. Will I be able to go on without my son? You're gonna have to, sweetheart. You're gonna have to. It's not easy, especially when you're used to life being a certain way and you're used to things being a certain way. So it's not easy, and it takes time, and it's a day by day process, and you just have to take it one day at a time. You will learn, you will adapt, but it's just going to be some time, okay? So you just got to hang in there. Also, you might get some support, or you might participate in like a new group or join some sort of like program in October, which might make it a little bit easier for you to make that transition, okay? Takazo Kondawi. My love life is dry like the Sahara. I'm here quarantining with my pillow and plants. Do you see someone hot coming in? Not right now. I think you might try to make some connections online, interestingly enough, within the next month and a half. There might actually be somebody in the next major city over from you that you might be able to connect with, but it feels like it might just be like a random connect and it might not lead to anything significant. I do think that by January or February of next year, you might have a new option coming in. Person's name starts with an L. It's a double L. Like it's an L, double L. So there's a double L in the beginning of their name. I also think that they have a little mole or a little like thing right here in like the side of their forehead. Okay, so you might be able to recognize them. Liz De Leon, do you have a message from my maternal grandma? Yes, she is showing me a baby, or she's holding a baby. So I don't know if someone's trying to have a baby in the family and they're gonna get a baby soon, or she's just acknowledging a baby coming in, having recently come into the family. But she's coming across that way. So she's also referencing a necklace. So there's a necklace connection to her as well. She also keeps showing me a picture of her where she might actually have a flower in her hair. So she's just making reference for that as well. She's around y'all. Y'all can talk to her. She's gonna hear y'all. Shandy's Beauty Palace. Hey, Ferny, I keep seeing 111. Do you see me getting into a relationship anytime soon? And do you see the name? Thanks. Yeah, so, I mean, whenever you see, like, recurring numbers, it's just the universe letting you know, like, life is exactly how it's supposed to be right now, so stop freaking out. So it's almost a kind of a pat on the back from life, if you will. As far as someone coming in soon, I don't think it's soon. It might be 6 months, so it might take a little while. It might not be right away. Person's name starts with a P, so I think I want to say it's P. Pi or PH. It's like a PI or PH. I also think they have really pretty green eyes. MS, MS. Hey, Ferny, hoping you're staying safe and happy. Any news or guidance from my grandma for me personally? Yes. You need to stop waiting for signs and you need to just go forward and make a decision because I feel like you're waiting around and you're not making a decision. And it's not like life always grants us a one or the other. Like sometimes you can just make a decision, go forward, and then follow through. And then if it's the wrong decision, then you will make a course correction. But sometimes going down a path is necessary for our own soul's purpose. So I would say you need to make a choice, follow through with it. And I think sometimes you don't always do that. She also keeps acknowledging birds. Birds are a symbol from her. She also keeps acknowledging I don't know if there was a piece of jewelry that went missing or there was some keys that went missing, but she's like she's going behind like a cabinet or behind like, like when it's either one of two places. Either it's almost like a key missing or some sort of lock key missing or there's something about like something like this missing. But if I go behind a stove and I see behind there, like that's like a gap area. But if it's either that or it's like in the bedroom behind a counter or cabinet looking behind, there might be something behind there that you can look and maybe find something, okay? Karina, when will I meet my twin flame? You're 2 years away from meeting your twin flame. I don't like the word twin flame. I always say this, but I'm going to say it again because it makes people think that there's only half of them here or they're waiting for their other half, and that's bullshit. You're a complete whole soul and person. And that was made up by a bunch of people who don't know what the fuck they were talking about when it was originally made up. So I think that there is no such a thing as a twin flame. However, we have thousands of soulmate possibilities. And so there are people that we are destined to connect with, but it's more of the energy that they sustain. It's not always like specific person you have to or you must connect with. But there's usually a plan in place. But I feel like you'll meet your twin flame in a couple of years. I also think that the person, there's a funny ear thing. There's a funny ear thing. So I don't know if they have big ears or there's a funny ear thing. I also feel like they've got really curly hair, really like, I feel like I've got curly hair there as well. I also feel like they might have some sort of a affinity or like almost artistry around tattoos or around skin art. Or it might even be, I don't think it's makeup, but it might be like, what is it? When they make horror movies and they make stuff that's like, guts and blood and all, like that's what I'm seeing. So they might do something or have something to do with that. Okay. Princess Nee. Hi, Fernie. Have I already met the man I will marry? I feel like you actually have one of three options in your lifetime or within the next 10 years. So I would say that the person that you've already met is one of the three. So you have options. It's not a matter of the person. It's the matter of which one do I want. And I think that you've met at least one option so far. And I feel a 75% percentage that it could work really well. Kizzy Bent. Hi, Fernie. Any message from my little brother? Yeah, so he's sitting down. He's like got like a little card thing like that. So I don't know if there's a picture of him riding around and doing this, or he's like in a car picture and he's acknowledging that. But there's almost I feel like I want to be in a car because he's doing this. So either this has to do with the picture and image, or he's making a point about a vehicle. But he's doing that. He also keeps referencing. He has shown me a rainbow, so rainbows are going to be connected to him. So you may experience that or see that, and that's his way of letting you know that he's around you as well. He also keeps bringing stray animals around. So if you have stray dogs or stray cats coming around, that's also his way of letting you know that he's around you. He also keeps showing me a picture, and I feel like someone's jumping in a picture, and they're like bungee, like not bungee, I'm sorry. Like, when you get in the pool and like, what is it? When you make the ball and you jump in the pool, I forgot what it's called. Anyways, it's almost like he's showing me something like that. So there's a picture of cannonball. So there's a cannonball picture that he's making reference to or he's joking about. Either that or y'all were just jumping in the pool today or yesterday and he's making fun of what y'all were doing, okay? Jettily, question about my career path. I was laid off and unsure about where it's about to go. So I feel like you have a lot of coordinator instincts, and you probably would be in a really great position or in a really great role where you can kind of coordinate and be kind of the middleman or the middle person to getting stuff done. What I think is going to happen is I think you're going to go through like a two-month break, and then at the end of the 2 month break, then you'll start to see something changing there as well. You can either stay within the same field that you've already been in, or you can go with a different option this year that may come up before November. Either way you go, I mean, I think it would work for you, but I feel like the the field that you're already in or the one that you just got laid off of, I feel like that's not sustainable in the long term. So even if you're comfortable there, I don't think that would be the way to go. Okay. Gracie Queen. Ooh, Ferny, or oh, Ferny. Do you see any future relationship for me or his name? Yeah, his name is Milton. Milton. Milton or Milk. Not Milk, Malik or Milk. There's like a Milk sounding name to it. So I think that the name is Milton. What was it? Any future relationship for me? Yeah, I would say that I see this person popping into the picture in about 1 year, 2 months. So do the math because I don't feel like it because I just don't feel like doing numbers in my head right now. Sonia Perez. Hi, Ferny. This is Sonia. Do you see me owning a home and how long? Yeah, I think you're actually going to try to get something in about 6 months. So it may not actually take you very long at all. We'll go down with this ship. Dido. I always feel like she's saying, I will go down with this shit. The girl, Dido, don't go down with it, girl. Don't let them arrest you. Unique Latina. I'm told I have a lot of angels around me. So the thing about angels, because people like to make a big to-do about angels, when we imagine that angels are like the sun. It's the form of energy, right? And when you go outside, you look in that direction, it's so bright and everything like that. And then when you put on some sunglasses, it dims it down or it makes it so that we can actually look at it or catch a glimpse of the sun. It makes it easier for us because we can't really look directly at it. Angels are like the same thing. It's a form of energy where essentially it is a pure form of love and loving energy and support and nurturing, etc. It's a pure form of love. And if we could see angels in their pure state, it would not look like what we see as angels with the wings and all that other stuff. However, over many generations, many eons, we've taken on the idea that angels are these beings with wings because our brains like to turn what we see or what we are experiencing into something we can relate to. And what is an angel? A person with wings. What is the representation of that? It's a being that has the ability to rise above or is higher or has the ability to be above the level that we're at. So it's a pure form of energy, but we see it or experience it as this being with wings because our brain is processing it. So we have filters in our head that help us to make sense of the data or the energy exchange. And so a lot of us will encounter and experience it that way. But if you really looked at a pure form of angel or pure of energy, it's just a pure form of energy. There really is no structure. We give it the structure because of the way that we are trying to figure out or understand what that is. Okay. And the question was, do you have angels around you? Yeah, you've got several angels around you, but it's not like they're your guides. People are like, oh, I have Archangel Michael and I have, Archangel Megatron or Metatron or whatever. And I have Archangel, Mary, or like people love to be obsessive about angels, but angels and guides are two separate things. Angels are pure forms of energy. It's almost like angels are waves and guides are like the surfers on the waves. So the guides are the ones that we do more work with. The angels are just like, it's just a form of energy. And and even to give you more about that, your main guide's name is Josephine. Joseph or Joseph. It's a female. Just Josephine. Josefina. Josefina. That's what it is. MS, any insight on my current career pursuit? I think it's going to take you 2.5 years to kind of get to the place where you want to get to with this. I don't think you should stop trying. I think that in the next 6 months, you're going to have to re-strategize because the current strategy you have in play or the current path and how you're trying to approach it isn't going to work the way you thought it would. That's not a bad thing, but you just got to rework the plan. So I think it's going to take you a little longer than you expected to kind of get somewhere with it. Christy, does my loved one Cameron have any messages for me? Yeah, he is whistling. So like I'm hearing whistling or like I'm trying to get my someone's attention. He also keeps acknowledging ladybugs. So ladybugs are going to be significant as well. I also keep seeing the number 2. So February, the 2nd of a month is going to be significant. I'm also seeing the number 5, which is May. So May or the 5th of the month is significant as well. I also keep seeing something on a tree. So there might be some sort of holiday or ornament or some special type of like thing that hangs. It may not even be a Christmas ornament. It may actually just be something that is created that hangs on like some sort of like a string or something. So there's something like that. But he's referencing that as well. He also doesn't want anyone to feel blamed or to feel responsible because he's like this is how it was going to go. So he's almost making it clear that it was his time to go. Tiff and Co. When will I move out of state and when will I be married? You'll be married. You're not gonna like the answer. You'll be moving out of state. I want to say probably summer of 2022. You might try to do it next year, but I feel like the timing or the finances are gonna be there for that. Marriage. Um, you're gonna hate me. So I feel like it might take you about 6 or 7 years to marry. I know. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Yeah, I know. I get it. Maybe I'm just stupid. I get it. I get you hate the answer, but that doesn't mean that it's going to take 6 or 7 years to get to meet this person. It just means it might take 6 or 7 years to marry. You might actually meet or you might come to the arrangement of marriage in 3 years, but it might take another 3 years before you actually get to marry. So it just might take a little longer. And Shanae, King Ferny, King, you mean Queen Ferny. What color eye does my future boyfriend have? When will I have this relationship and his name? He has the color of sty. He has a sty colored eye. That's what he actually has brown eyes, so it's like a brown color. I also think that boyfriend have, yeah, his name is also M. I think it's like Mitch. So it sounds like a Mitch name. He might not be available when you meet him, so you might need to be patient because it might take a while. I think that you'll meet him probably in about 6 months. Nicole Wood, is there a message I need to hear either from a loved one or something you see from me? You need to put your boundaries down. Like you need to set up your boundaries because I think that people are going to push you a lot more this year than you're used to, and it's going to get on your damn nerves. So I think you need to start like really putting your foot down and setting up your boundaries. Don't run over the people who care about you. Just run over the people who don't. So the people who try to push you or who try to get from you or take from you, specifically in the area of romance or relationship, you need to make sure you put your foot down because you don't want to make people codependent on the behavior or on the manner, the habits, and then you start to kind of struggle with that. Okay. Ashton Wise. Hello, Fernie. Ashton here. Where'd he go? Okay. Any messages from my spirit guide? Yeah. Your spirit guide is wanting you to really throw yourself into something creative, whether it be music or production or anything that has to do with being creative or producing stuff. Even like creating a website, that's creative, but it has to do with computers or technology. But I feel like it's got an online platform or whatever. So I feel like they're trying to push you or trying to get you to kind of pursue that or put more energy into that, because there may be some opportunities that may come through that median. Mike C, is my wife and I going to take the trip we planned for July? I think so. I think you will still take the trip. I think y'all may actually try to cancel, like almost y'all may try to cancel in May, but I feel like y'all may wait a little bit longer and then think, no, I think we can do it. However, if you take it in July, you might not be able to participate or do some of the things you wanted to do on the trip. So even if you go in July, I feel like it may not be worth it. So you might need to wait and postpone it until later this year, like around November. But it's up to you. So when you get closer to May, you can kind of decide for yourself. Desiree Trejo. How many spirit guides do I have? And any messages from family members that have passed? Thank you. Yeah, there's like a tia or a grandmother. It's on the same level. So it'd be like a grandmother or grandmother's sister. But there's a female wanting to say hello. She keeps, she's blowing kisses. She also is making the symbol for a cross, which is a bendición. She also keeps acknowledging a baby. So there might be a baby coming in or a baby that has recent, no, I'm sorry, there's a baby with her. So there might be a baby that's passed that she's wanting to let you know that is with her. Okay. You have one main guide, so you just have one guide. Sue Eckenroad, do I have a soulmate? Yeah, you have several potential soulmates in this lifetime, but you got to align with their energy. The best way to align with soulmate's energy is by doing two things: learning how to love yourself, let your guard down, and practice the feeling or the state of being that there would be someone in your life. There's a really good book by Ariel Ford called The Soulmate Secret, which will help you to line up with the soulmate energy. Okay. Augustine Gonzalez. Do I have any spirits that follow me? I mean, family members are always going to be around you, so I don't think that's what you're asking me. There are other spirits. Well, it's not you specifically. I feel like there are spirits around your space or your home, but those are like people who haven't crossed over. So there's a couple, two people. One might be a older gentleman, and then the other one might be a younger gentleman. So there's two people there, but they may be around your space or your home space. But you have family members that follow you around too. There is speaking of family members, there is a male family member. Who wasn't the easiest person to get along with, and who may have been he may have done some very controversial things in the family, and he's wanting to apologize to the people that he caused pain to or hurt. I would say he needs to, he's also shown me a bottle, so he might have been a bit of a drinker, or he might have used substances as well. Isabel Schmidt. Hi, Ferny. Also wanted to ask if my brother has any messages for us. We miss him so much all the time. Yeah, he's showing me Ring Around the Rosie. Remember Ring Around the Rosie? Pockets full of posy, ashes, ashes. We all fall down. Like that song? Okay. I don't know why I feel like I'm playing with kids and I'm going around in circles. So I don't know if y'all have kids and y'all been doing the whole duck, duck, goose or whatever. But he's showing me this, so there's a reference there. He also keeps drawing on my skin, so there might be a tattoo or it might be two tattoos that are connected to him. He also shows me the number 11, so November might be significant. He also shows me the number 12, so December might be significant as well. He also keeps acknowledging two vehicles or weird mix-up or switch or trade with two vehicles. Make sure that it's done right, or make sure that somebody doesn't do something that they shouldn't take on because they can't take care of it. So there's something around that he's making a reference to as well. CV. Hi, Ferny. My name is Selena. Any messages from my mother, Sandra? Yes. So she wants to thank you for everything that was done. She also wants to apologize for putting up with her. She also keeps referencing the timing of her passing and how in the month of her passing, there's two significant dates or events at that time. She also keeps referencing the picture of her at a restaurant, and she's blowing out like a little cake or whatever. And it's like, whenever you go to a restaurant and you blow out, they bring you the, ha, 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 So she's showing me something like that as well. She also is showing me the Olive Garden. I don't know why, but I'm seeing Italian food. So there's a connection to Italian food, or there's a connection to the Olive Garden that she's trying to make a reference to. Okay. Sharmala, my brother and I are studying for a huge exam right now. When will we finally take it, and how do you see it going for both of us? I think you'll take it in the either the end of June or early July. I also think there might be an attempt to do it sooner, but things may not be possible, so I think it's going to be a little bit on hold. I actually think both of you will do fine. One of you will be kind of in the higher on the higher level. I want to say, I'm not going to say which one it is because y'all will both beat me up, but I do think one of you will do much better than the other, but I think both of you will do fine. So I don't think either of you are going to fail. Celeste Moore, Fernie, do you have a message from my granny or Aunt Linda? Yeah, your Aunt Linda, she's like, I don't know if she was a bossy person because she's kind of wanting to tell people what to do. She's trying to like tell people like how to do things. So she's kind of coming across in that way. She also keeps referencing the issues with her blood or her like I don't know if there was an infection or there was a contamination of her blood. She also makes me feel like it was too much in her system. So I don't know if she was over medicated or there was just so many drugs in her system, but she's almost making me feel like something was creating more of a problem or something was actually making it worse to some extent because she's acknowledging that. She also keeps referencing this picture, and I feel like in this picture she's like she's almost like that, and her hair comes down like right here, and she's like doing this, and she's like looking, and it's almost like there's a like picture like that. So she's referencing that. She's also with the granny, so I think that that's also that person's also there as well. Haley, XOXO. Any messages from my dad for his kids, Haley, D, and Mia? Yeah, he is. He's showing me a picture of him wearing a hat. So y'all might have caps that belong to him, or there might be a special cap picture that he's making reference to. He also keeps referencing. I don't know if y'all had this weird experience where something on the window dropped or fell, or like a curtain fell, or the blinds fell, but he's making a gesture or reference that he tried to get y'all's attention. He also keeps referencing no more eating, like no eating no more oatmeal, or not eating oatmeal, or not eating like the stuff that looks like it's like that, because I feel like I'm having to eat it and I feel like I don't want to. That's the way he's making me feel. I like oatmeal, but that's the way he's making me feel. So I don't know if he wasn't happy about what he had to eat towards the end, but he's acknowledging like no more of this stuff, like having to have it soft or having to have it mushy. He also keeps making reference. Um, I don't know if y'all have his bottle opener, or like the thing where you kind of like click in or click out. There's like a click in and click out thing that he's making a gesture about. He also keeps showing me something written on it as well, because he's like referencing that also. He also keeps referencing white daisies or daisy. So if there's a name daisy connected, he's bringing that up. If not, then this is white daisies, like white flowers with a daisy. But there's a reference there as well. He also keeps showing me bunny rabbits or rabbits. If y'all have seen rabbits lately, or if y'all just ate a rabbit, or if something cute, y'all received something cute that's got a rabbit in it and y'all thought of him, he's just letting y'all know he knows about it. Okay. Blood X Bruja. Hey, Fernie. My mother passed last Friday. I'm so sorry. I know that was really recent. I feel like she has been trying to show herself to me, but I'm not sure. Do you see anything from her? Yeah, a couple of things. First of all, there's a baby with her. So a child that was miscarried, lost, or terminated is also with her. So she's letting you know that. She also wants you to know that she's been messing with animals. So you might see animals acting oddly or weirdly. And this is her way of trying to get your attention, whether they're inside your house or outside strays. But she's referencing that. She also keeps acknowledging, it's funny because she's making fun of using the water or how much water you use. So I don't know if you have a bad habit of using too much water, but she's making a point of that. She is okay. She feels much better. She also makes me feel like she can breathe fully again, or she can take deep breaths again. So there's a reference there about her breathing or deep breaths. She also keeps acknowledging that she didn't think it was going to be that bad, or she didn't think this was going to be it. So she was kind of caught off guard in her own way. She also makes me feel, she felt her hand. So she's acknowledging that she felt someone touching her hand or grabbing her hand, but she also makes me feel that someone touched her eyelids or her eyes as well. So she's acknowledging that. She also keeps showing me a picture, and in the picture, I feel like it has to do with the beach, or like I'm looking out at the water. So I don't know if she had a picture or it was her favorite picture of looking out at the beach or looking at the water, but she's almost just, you know what? It's almost like I always wanted to go to this place and I never got a chance to go, or I always wanted to go on a cruise and I never got a chance to go, or I always wanted to go, and she's like showing me her heaven and it looks like this place. So she's wanting you to know what it looks like for her. If you want to experience her more, I would suggest before you go to sleep at night, just let her know, I love you, Mom. I'm here if you want to talk to me when you can. I know that, it's not the easiest because you're still getting the hang of it there. But I'm here, you can talk to me or whatever, but I don't expect you to say anything specific. Whatever you want to show up as or however you want to show up, I will accept. And that's it. And just let it go. Don't have the expectation that she must come through that night, because you're basically building a block around that and she's not going to be able to get through that. We have to kind of have faith and we have to come to peace with the situation. And I think that you're still kind of trying to prove some things. So you just kind of need to let her come across in the way she can. And I think she will make her presence known within a month. Okay. Rosa. I started because I was going to pass you up, and then like in my head it was like, don't you dare. Rosa Mack. Hi, Ferny. Any messages from my good friend Mo, who passed in December? Yeah, so I'm assuming Mo's a male. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming Mo's a male. He's doing this, so there's a reference to doing this, like. So I don't know if there was a funny thing about smelling funny smells, or I smell funny, or oh, you smell funny, or you're smelly. So there's something about that. So that's like a joke. I also keep seeing chicken wings or wild wings or Buffalo Wild Wings. So I don't know if y'all used to go Buffalo Wild Wings a lot, or there was a chicken wing thing that y'all used to do. I also keep seeing the swings. So when you get on a swing and you swing together, I feel like I'm on a swing with someone. So he might be acknowledging like being on a swing with him, or they're being on swings together. There's also a reference to Tony. So there's a connection to a Tony also that he's acknowledging or referencing. He also keeps showing me the number 11, so the 11th of a month, or the month of November being significant. He also keeps acknowledging he's tried to get the attention of the kids or the children connected. So they may have experienced him, or they may have had experiences recently. But there's a reference to messing with the children or getting the children's attention. What I'm reminded of when I say that, I have one of my friends, she just had a baby in, I think it was January. And I remember last week she was like, my baby, whenever he goes to sleep, he's like nodding his head like someone's talking to him and he's saying yes, and then she's like, I think it's my dad. I was like, no, I think it's his guide. I don't think your dad's telling him anything. I think it's his guide. But I'm reminded of that. So there might be similar experiences with children in your family. Daniela McKell. I am going through an emotional roller coaster. Is the convention I am working on will happen? What is the meaning of the current relationship issues I'm having? A message from my guides. So yeah, I'm going to answer just the one, because it's a lot of different questions, and they're not. And the other two are the other one with the relationship, I don't know what you're specifically wanting to know. As far as the convention I am working on will happen, I think there's going to be a delay or just a move of it of like 3 or 4 weeks. So I think it'll still happen, but it might just be put off by like 3 or 4 weeks. And as far as the timing, not because of it needing to be moved, but because there might be other things going on at that time that it was originally going to happen where it needs to just be moved. Okay. All right, guys, I think I'm getting to my limit. I think I'm getting to I'm at my limit. I'm trying to muster up enough energy for one more, and I'm like, I can't go. All right, guys, I love you all. Check out my YouTube channel. Check out the free psychic development class. It's free. Like free. That way you can learn how to have your own abilities and grow your own abilities. Also, if you want to know more about what I do, check out my website, www.fernandomaron.com. And I got a lot of stuff on there. I've also got a new newsletter, Dear Ferny thing rolling out in the next week. So basically, people who have spiritual questions or questions about life advice or whatever, you can actually like sign up and you can receive a weekly newsletter where I give advice on certain issues or problems and stuff that people deal with. So that you can just go to my website, you can go to the newsletter. It says it on there, it's new, and sign up. That way you can get the newsletter when it comes out. Okay. All right, guys. I will talk to you next week. All right. Bye bye.